Hello, this is Dakota Fred. Unfortunately, our live thing broadcast just did not work very well. We live in a little bitty small town, and our Wi-Fi is pitiful. Sometimes we just can't get on. Anyway, we got a little bit of stuff out. I'd like to tell you a little bit about what Dakota Fred, treasures and other stuff is going to be about. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and record this. We're going to tell you exactly what we're going to try to be doing in the future here. We're going to try to do this every Tuesday evening about 6 o'clock. We may have to do this at a little different time. This is the heaviest traffic that we have here, and apparently the number of subscribers on the Wi-Fi in this area here have already succeeded the max that it's supposed to be for internet. We may have to move our location to get us a better Wi-Fi connection, which we will do. But we would like to do this at approximately about 6 o'clock every evening on Tuesdays for the foreseeable future, and let you know what's going on. And what we hope to do with this is I want to talk about gold mining. I know most of you have seen me on Gold Rush. I've got other aspects of my life also, and I know you have a bunch of questions. You know, we did, of course, we did Gold Rush. You probably want to know a little bit how I ever got started with all this stuff. Maybe about my early life. Some of the hobbies that I've done in my life. Shoot, I even plunked around on a guitar just good enough to make the girls pay attention. That was all I did. It's about as good as I got with a guitar. But I got into collectibles, old stuff, old bottles. I know a lot about old bottles, I can tell you. And in the gold mining business, a lot of the guys pick up, you know, a little bit about metal detecting. I'm not an expert gold metal detector, whatever. But I've got an interesting story about how I got started in it. Because within 30 minutes I started metal detecting, I found a gold piece about 0.40, almost a half an ounce of gold in one shot. Quite a story. I was a commercial diver. I was a sport diver. I got pictures of all kinds of stuff that you probably didn't get to see on any of that live stuff there. Gee whiz, there's, you know, I lived in a marina for a while, and there's old Dustin. You know, I was Dustin again. It's some interesting things. Now here's one I'm not sure he wants me to show anybody, and I'm going to show you in just a second. So there's him balancing balls up there. He's a juggler. He got a lot of talents in himself. We're going to encourage you to write in your answer or your questions. I'd like to know what state you're from, or province, or country. I know I've seen a lot of people from New Zealand, Australia, all over. I think the UK is just about to wake up pretty soon. All of Europe. All of you here in the United States have a chance to watch this because it's going to be within a reasonable time for just about every time zone here. Alaska also. And so it's mostly going to be about some of the stuff that I've done in my life. I never want to use the word teach anybody anything, but I'd like to inform you of a few things, like maybe how about live panning demonstration? You too can be an expert gold panner, and I've taught probably about 4,000 youngsters personally. We set up at a number of sports shows and teach youngsters how to pan. Every single one of them, from 3 years old to whatever. have learned how to pan for gold right off the bat. It's the adults that are hard to teach. Definitely. You should have seen the look on a lot of proud parents' faces when these youngsters would learn how to pan for gold. They were just the proudest things ever. I even had men my age or older would stand in the back of the crowd, kind of watch panning, watch all these little kids panning, watching me teach them. After everybody left, they would walk up and say, "Fred, I wish I'd have known that 50 years ago." So there's 100 ways to pan. None of them are wrong. They're all right, but there are better ways to pan and quicker ways to pan. And I think I teach a method that is quick, efficient, and it works. So a lot of this will be answering lots of questions. You want to know one of the big things that everybody always says, "Well, Fred, where's All That Glitters?" Well, All That Glitters is a documentary that was now entitled Gold-Blooded. I can say that we are in post-production on that. We do not have it out yet. When it comes out, you will know because I will advertise the heck out of it. It's quite an interesting story. This was from our 2014 season, and it had a lot to do with McKinley Falls. And Dustin and the Texas boys and myself, we were diving in some water that was treacherous, let me tell you. Quite an interesting story. When Gold Rush left and went to the Yukon in Canada, we kept all the scenery right there in Alaska. Incredible scenery. So trying to think of some of the other things. Jen will be here occasionally, my trusty assistant. She will be firing me questions occasionally, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible. Occasionally on live TV, of course, it's going to be awkward. And you saw that on those videos. It was awkward. When you have technical difficulties, things like that happen. And I've got a little bit of notes here that I have to kind of look at every once in a while, just to remind myself to see what's going on. I'll show you old retro photographs of my first season in Porcupine. The first Gold Rush pictures up in Porcupine. I'll answer just about any question you can ask. I'll be straightforward about it. Now, there is one thing that I do have to tell you, that some questions I cannot answer about recent stuff now, like what I just finished. I'm sorry, but I am, and if this tells you anything, I'm under contract. I can't even tell you with who. But we have something that I will say that we were filmed this summer, and the possibilities are just endless in our situation. That was quite an adventure. I can't answer any questions about that. I guess the pictures and things like that, I was mentioning the panning a while ago. We're going to probably show you what we teach them with is something called practice gold. This is some manufactured gold that I make, and it's not gold. And it weighs about half what gold is, but it works and acts just like gold. And that's what we teach people to pan for gold with. In the next session or so here, we will be having live panning sessions here. We will work out this technical problem here. I'm totally confident of that. We've got lots of old stuff to show you, interesting stuff that you would wonder what in the world these things are. Sometimes, well, some of them are just self-explanatory, like everybody knows what that is, an old hip flask, but it's from England. Of course, your old bottles and things. I got something here that not many people will guess what this thing is. This is a weird little strange little thing. It feels like it's pewter. But anyway, these are just some interesting stuff that I come up with over the years. Old bottles, these ship bottle. How in the world do you ever set that bottle down? The answer, you don't. And the reason the thing was rounded also is because it laid down to keep the cork wet. And they used them for ballast in the bottom of a ship. And you would never guess what was in them. Bottled water. Sometimes aerated, mostly from England and Ireland, because they didn't trust the water in the United States. Like in New Orleans or on the East Coast, they didn't trust the water even then. So things like old, I don't know, everybody knows what that is, yeah? No, I wouldn't either. It's a gopher trap. Interesting stories behind, here's a knife. I'll tell you what, that knife, that's got an interesting story behind it. And little things like this. Occupied Japan. Guess what that might be? Would you believe? That's a hand warmer. Actually, like a cigarette lighter type thing. So there's a lot of things that we'll discuss. I hope that first of all, I want to apologize for our little fiasco we had a while ago with our live broadcast. I know that a lot of people were looking forward to seeing this. We will get this thing worked out, and I'm excited about doing these. It's just too bad we didn't have it. What we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and read. We had hundreds and hundreds of comments come in. I'm going to read through those, and I'm going to make a subsequent video and start answering those questions. Either that, or I will be on the computer, and I will post you some answers on there the best I can do. I want to wish you a good evening, and I really want to tell you that I do appreciate you joining in. If you can share this, I would really appreciate it. Like it and just share it. Let people know that we'll be doing something pretty special. I will try to keep this thing as interesting as possible. And the direction of this show is going to go where you want it to go. You will tell me through your questions which way to go. And I'll be straightforward with you. You'll get a straight answer out of me. Thank you for joining this evening. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, and have a good evening. Bye now.